Hello, Joe L. You are up next, sir.
Hey Bart, how's it going?
How's it going?
Doing all right on this fine Monday.
All right, we got a hand for us?
Yes, so this is 2-5 no limit at Parks.
Another Parks 2.5 no limit? Damn.
Another Parks.
Michael G. showing his influence.
And we got 1.8K effective stacks.
All right, so deeper here, huh?
Yes.
1.8K. And again, I can't speak highly enough for Parks. I was really, really impressed. Kind of said like it was really had the most tables going since I remember since Commerce. There was a little bit of a debate when the guy when we did that Encore call, ragging on the
hmm
Encore last week, the guy said that Encore was the best poker room on the East Coast pre-COVID, and then it turned to the worst, and there were some comments saying, oh, Parks has always been better. But I was very, very impressed by Parks, for sure.
Yeah, the Parks pride is the thing for sure.
Yeah. All right, so 1,800 effective at 251K cap, okay?
All right, and we are in the cutoff folds to us,
Okay.
and we raise to 25 with Ace of Hearts, King of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts, King of Hearts, the 25, which is a little bit, is that your standard open in this game,
Yeah,
or is this
that
one?
was the standard going at that point in the game.
Okay.
Sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 20. Tonight it was just everyone was raising to 25 where people would just auto call. So,
Okay.
yep. And button calls and small blind calls, big blind folds.
So button calls, small blind calls, and that's it, right?
Yep.
So looks like it is what, like 80 or so to the flop,
Yep.
maybe?
Three-way to the flop with $80 in the pot.
Okay, so three ways, 80. Okay.
And flop comes 10 of spades, 4 of hearts, 3 of hearts.
10 of spades, 4 of hearts, 3 of hearts. So hero flops the nut flush draw, 2 overcards, and a backdoor sort of wheelie draw, right?
Yep, on top of the backdoor Broadway draw as well. So
Yep.
pretty much lots going on for us.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely going to continue. Small blind checks it to us.
Mm-hmm.
We bet 35, which I was thinking, we're multi-way, but I kind of want to get, at least some value out of this because I'm unblocking all the possible like 10Xs and even just like middling pocket pairs. So plenty that can call me down. So I'm thinking half pot size is okay, but I kind of want to hear your thoughts on that too.
Yeah, another thought is this is that you're really deep and you're also obviously, well, I mean, you're in the middle, so you actually kind of want to get the button out of there. This would be a little bit it would be a little bit better if obviously you were on the button. But at this stack depth, I actually like to start building a pot up here with like the properties of my hand when there isn't two pair or straight represented here. And if you were to say like go 2/3, I mean, I know it's somewhat complex because obviously multi-way theory, you can always take like 1/3-ish type of sizing, but this is not
Yeah,
a board where you have to be scared of, traditionally like a guy in the blind might have a lot of better hands and can put pressure on me because there really shouldn't be two pair, obviously represented. The big blind is
especially
not in
with the
there.
small blind calling.
Right. And
Yeah.
the small blind is much, much tighter. So I think I might start going to town here with a little bit of larger sizing. I mean, that's kind of my take because you get a lot going on here with your hand.
Sure. Would you go 2/3 or even like full pot?
I'd probably go like 60, 65, something like that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
All right. So we go 35
Uh-huh.
and button raises to 85.
To 85. Okay.
Yes. So kind of like a slightly over min raise. And then things get really fun when the small blind check 3 bets to 285.
Small blind three bets to 285.
Correct.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, there pretty much are only two hands that I could ever see him doing this with. Pocket tens wouldn't make a ton of sense. I would think I'd be seeing a little bit of three betting. It's possible it's pocket tens, but unlikely. So I'm thinking it's got to be pocket threes or pocket fours.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it would be for value. I mean, the other types of holdings that it might be would be some sort of combo draw, which of course you dominate, right? Like 5,
Yep.
6 of hearts, 7, 5 of hearts. The button could have a 10 hopping on your somewhat small sizing. But I mean,
hmm
I think as played, I think this is a square call. And a lot of times that's just going to have the button release in this particular situation if he was just raising with a 10.
Exactly. Yeah. And so with that, it's a straightforward call because we just have so much going on. Pretty much whatever price we're getting, we got to just call, correct?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, I
Gotcha.
don't think
Yep.
I mean, I think that there are more sets than combo draws, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
I think
All right.
calling is
So
good. Yep.
we do end up smooth calling,
Okay.
and Button ends up doing a frustrated kind of like what am I even doing here? And he releases. So pretty much exactly what we wanted to happen ended up happening. So going into the turn, and the pot is 735.
735. So the button is likely to have maybe a 10. Also, 10x of hearts here is sometimes a hand that people go kind of crazy with, although I don't know if I would see it get check raise 3-bet, and I don't think the button is raise folding 10x of hearts, that's for sure. So,
Yeah, probably
yeah.
just forced to call at that point. So
Yeah.
Button's out of the way, and we're going heads up to the turn, which is the Queen of Clubs.
All right, so you pick up a Broadway gut shot now.
Correct.
Okay.
So small blind leads out for 500.
So small blind's going to take 2/3 sizing here. And again, you guys started with obviously 1800 effective, and kind of piggybacking on last call. I mean, you can kind of look at this like in the worst case scenario, if the 10 and the queen of hearts are not good, there you've got 7 flush outs on that side, and then you've got 3 gutter outs. So in the worst case scenario, you've got 10 outs here. And again, you probably need to make 3.5 to 1 on the bet size, which would mean you would need to make 1750 total from the pot. If you call, you're already making 1235 because he's betting 5 into 735. So you only need to make like 500 at the end to make it break even. And when you call, the pot's going to be like 1735. So, I mean, this is a square call, and you just hope that you catch like maybe a clean straight out or something like that. But, at that point, you're hoping that he's got, if you do make it, that he's got a set. So you're going to get it paid off.
Gotcha. So is there any merit to jamming here, or is it just you just
I don't know,
call
man.
and
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't think sets of 4s and sets of 3s are folding here.
yeah.
I mean, the merit to jamming with what this guy is representing is the fact that you would somehow get those hands to fold out. Now, again, he can have some combo draw. I'm going to throw out 5 deuce of hearts because it's a small blind. 5 6 of hearts. I don't even know if he's calling with 5 7 of hearts, to be honest with you. And that's why I think it's really skewed more towards, him having value here.
Agreed.
And the way that you sort of had made it look is that I don't even know if 5 6 of hearts is going to bluff. If for some reason he has 5 6 of hearts, that's not always going to bluff the river because you've looked so strong in calling down quite a bit, where if a brick comes, you're not always going to get bluffed at. So I assume you called, right?
Yep. So I end up just calling.
Yep. Sorry, it's 1735 to the river. Okay.
Yep. And the river is the Queen of Hearts.
Interesting. So you make your flush.
Yep. Make the nut flush.
You make the nut flush, but the board pairs.
Correct.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yes. So at this point, the small blind looks kind of like he looks kind of stunned and is sitting there kind of like processing for like probably a good 30 seconds. And then he decides to go all in. So he jams for about 1,000, right in that ballpark.
So small blind jams for 1,000. Wow. Here's my take here. And I've made folds like this before. Let's just say in theory that we give him 5 6 of hearts and he always jams with that. And then we give him all the sets too that he always jams with, right? So you've got 6 combos of sets and you have 1 5 6 of hearts.
So you think we could disregard pocket tens?
I am kind of disregarding pocket tens, but I don't think
in the same way.
It even gets worse than, if you throw some of those in.
Yeah.
But I mean, you actually have 6 to 1 in hands that you lose to here, right? 6 to 1. Now, if you were to give him 5 7, and this is how we would look at this math, right? It's a ratio. Now, you're getting 2.7 to 1 from the pot, and he's going to have 6 value combos to 1 combo that you beat. Now, if he were to have 5 6 of hearts here and also have like 5 7 of hearts or some other flush draw combo, like 6 7 of hearts or something like that, and he always played it this way, now you're in a situation where you have 6 value combos that you lose to and 2 value combos that you beat because he's not bluffing, and you would need 3 to 1. You're only getting 2.7 to 1, so you need to find another like 1.5 combos besides 5 6 of hearts to make this, I think, a call here. The other thing people might say, well, what if he has 10x of hearts? Again, I don't think that's really check raise 3-bet all that much. You know, it just sucks to make like the nut flush here and get a price of
Yeah.
2.7 to 1. But I got to tell you, I mean, I don't know if you know anything about this guy, you know, and
No, no real background.
some people might say it's exploitable fold, but I can actually get on board here, maybe with a fold here as strong as this guy has shown down.
Yeah. Do you ever give credit to 3-4 that gets counterfeited, or is that also something you're not really thinking, like 3-4 suited?
I mean, so many things have to happen in order for that to make to really be. First of all, he's got to VPIP that pre number
Yeah,
one. Okay, that's a pretty light VPIP, and
very much
then
so.
he also has to follow through with like that PLO bluff, right?
Hmm.
There's only 3 combos of 3-4 suited, right? Because his heart's out there. So the chances of that happening, I think, are very, very slim.
Hmm.
First of all, him VPIPing that pre and then following up with this, you know, you could add a little bit of weight to it, but I don't know. I kind of want to fold here.
Yeah, and the even if we gave him one combo of 3-4 hearts, then it's 6 versus 3, and now we're getting 2 to 1. So it's like borderline. It's like we either have one hand where we can, or one hand where we can't. So I
Well, you
do
still
end
remember
up.
you're getting 2.7 to 1. So if you had 6
Yes,
that you lose to and 3 that you beat, it would be a call.
and that's what I'm saying is the difference is only one hand, and I'm really reaching at that point. So I
Right.
think gotta just end up releasing, and I do end up tank folding, and I know I shouldn't do this, but I tabled it and said I fold, and I showed the nut flush, and the guy looks at me and says, "Do you want to see my hand?" And I was like, "I'm not going to make you do anything, but I appreciate if you do." And he shows 4 of spades, 4 of clubs.
So he had a
So he
set of
did
fours.
set of fours. So
There you
right
go.
decision in that spot.
Nice fold. I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, I don't know if I would be showing that hand, but if you wanted the information for more like mental game for your own mental game,
Yeah,
I
that's
just
kind of
don't.
what I was thinking.
I just don't like to fold big. I don't like to fold. I don't like to show my fold. Here's the other problem too: is that let's say that he showed his hand and he did have 3-4, or he had something. He had 5-7 of hearts that he overvalued.
Hmm.
Like, how would that make you play later on?
Yeah, no, that's a very fair point. I only get a good result when I actually am correct there, so get even more tilted if I'm wrong.
Math Magical 55 says, I think flop and turn were arguable folds if they only have sets. When we are ignored that and called anyways, I think we should call. When we've ignored that and called anyways, I think we should call. Yeah, I don't really agree with that because we're calling for the implied odds hand, the implied odds value of the hand, especially on the turn, right?
Yeah.
And especially when the caller doesn't have the reverse implied odds because he's good enough to fold when he makes his draw and doesn't pay off, which is what happened here, right?
Hmm.
Avoiding the reverse implied odds. Nice fold there, Joe. Appreciate the call. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bart.
All right.